At the time I was just out of college, and so it was very affordable, and I liked the proximity to the nightlife in DC, the fun parts of DC. We looked on Craigslist and we started to see metro stops that we thought were easy to get into the city where our jobs were. So I really didn't know anything about Columbia Heights before I moved here.
Didn't really know much about the neighborhood actually. I saw the listing on Craigslist. I was looking to move into a neighborhood, a house named U Street or Adams Morgan, and this is when I found. So we found each other.
Restaurants that were, or any chain restaurants at least. Everything, all the restaurants were like holes in the wall, and then Ruby Tuesday came in first, and then a whole bunch of restaurants popped up.
Everything was like brand new and nice, and they were really redoing the neighborhood. When I came back a year later, it was totally changed, and it was, the place to hang out. So I knew I wanted to live in DC because I wanted to do work for the government, nonprofit, politics, that type of thing. And so I knew that I wanted to live in Columbia Heights because that's the place to be after you graduate from college. Everyone moves here. It's got everything you want. You've got Target, you've got the bars, you've got all your friends live here. So I tried to keep an open mind with other neighborhoods. I tried to think about Eastern Market. I thought it would be too isolated away from everything that I would want to be around, Bad feelings in politics about how it's being gentrified between the new young professional residents who have come in, like myself and my friends, and then the older residents who've been here for generations, where it's like, this is my family, this is my neighborhood, now you guys are pushing us out because our rent is too high. So it's, it's a struggle between the two.
I think most of the stores they've brought in are commercial, and I think encouraging more domestic, local restaurants and shops would be more positive. A lot of the older shops and restaurants are local, and I think commercial restaurants have a certain amount of appeal, there's a certain benefit to them. However, I think more local development would be an improvement. it's unfortunate. I think it is something that should be minimized as much as possible, but I think it is a natural occurrence. I mean, you can't avoid this completely. If you look at neighborhoods in Manhattan, like Upper East Side, you can't have every income level in every neighborhood. It's difficult. Maybe you can, but I don't think it's possible. Some people get really upset about that, and they view gentrification as this really unfortunate, almost cruel occurrence. But I don't think there's any one ethnicity being pushed out of the neighborhood. There's still a number of ethnic groups being represented in Columbia Heights. There's wealthy whites, blacks, Asians, Latinos, and I don't think rising incomes and rising rents will completely disrupt any of those ethnic groups.
Somewhat of an example of what's happening in DC over the last 10 years. To be honest, if you look at the demographic shift in Columbia Heights versus, it's like a more accelerated version of what's happening in DC. The percentage of Caucasians in DC has increased quite a bit in the last 10 years. That's what the new census data shows. I would say that as far as people is concerned, that changed as well. You know, when I moved in, people would say that this was a sketchy neighborhood, or people would say that, would ask me whether it was unsafe to live here.
One of the drawbacks of the neighborhood is that everything's centered around Target and the Metro, and then there's a certain radius around it that is safe, fun, and good. I also volunteer at Harriet Tubman Elementary every Saturday for a couple hours tutoring a little girl in a program called Reading All-Stars with a couple of my friends. We all do it every Saturday.